Thank God it's Friday. Monday's a brand new start. Wednesday, you're halfway home, and Thursday, the weekend's not far. Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. What can you say about Tuesday? Nothing, not a damn thing. Tuesday bites, Tuesday sucks, Tuesday blows, go away. Tuesday's crap, Tuesday's lame, Tuesday's dumb, go away. Tuesday, Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. What can you say about Tuesday?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
Do you think it'd be funny if we sang the show one day?
No. I don't.
Where like everything we said we had to make it sound like
In
a song? Do you think that would get annoying?
I'm already annoyed thinking about it, so yeah.
So we're not doing
probably.
that? Okay. Well, there goes...
that bright idea
my
you had
attempt
this
at
morning.
some fun and creative stuff. I only bring it up because it's Poetry at Work Day, and I thought about trying to write a poem. But what the hell do I know about writing poems?
Like a haiku or like a
Well, it can be
like a
abstract. It could be a
roses
haiku.
are red kind of thing.
A man from Nantucket.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then I just got to thinking about that stuff, you know. What other weird things could we do? And we had Shaw rap the news many years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the weather?
It was the weather.
Weather. He rapped the weather.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Poetry at work. So
I don't know if there's a singing at work day.
I'm sure there is.
And people would be gone. They would tune out immediately.
Yes.
Poetry at Work Day. We've got a lot to get to this morning. Obviously, Grant Bilse is going to join us just after 8 o'clock like he always does on Tuesdays. Get his reaction to the wild card weekend, which just wrapped up last night. See about his predictions for the upcoming divisional round, which will be this coming weekend. We'll let you know what's new on New Release Tuesday as well. Going to talk about your cell phone.
Necessary part of being around anymore.
Sort of. Also, a viral TikTok health hack that I might actually try.
You're going to adopt. You're going to embrace.
And I'm not even on the TikTok. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if I'm going to wrap my arms around it, but it's so easy and stupid. It's right in my wheelhouse, right? Yeah. Rockmornings.com to get in touch with us if you've got something you need this morning, or if you want to be a part of the program. You can also download the apps, the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and submit voicemails and pictures and videos through the apps. Click the Win tab on the app to sign up to win prizes.
Probably going to be cloudy. Probably going to see some rain on and off today, but almost 50.
I don't see any rain in the forecast.
Later on.
All right, so the sat late?
Yeah.
All right, well, good, because after I get done with work, I'm going to get all that crap off my lawn. Because it's going to get real cold.
Yeah, it's winter again by the weekend.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, high temps in the low 20s, maybe even into the teens, and some snow.
I saw teens.
In the forecast Thursday and Friday. Mm-hmm. So measurable snow as well, not just the dusting. So yeah, we had a nice little reprieve for the last couple of days with temps in the 40s, but that's coming to an end after today. We'll get to some Mammoth and some Slipknot. We've been getting teased by Rockfest with all sorts of posts. People are trying to figure it out.
Get on with it, people.
Some people are saying Lamb of God. There's a vulture, like a little skeleton vulture that looks like...
You think they're trying to tease you this direction to send you down another road?
I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it may be a little bit more outside the box thinking, right? As opposed to a direct link to this album cover that people are, and then there's an Ice Nine Kills tie-in, and there's another. But yesterday, Rockfest dropping a bunch of hints, which means at some point this week we expect the lineup and schedule and all that crap, the info that we've been waiting for. Usually it is this week, as I was mentioning to you. It tends to be, somewhere around January 15th, the last couple of years. So once we find out, we'll let you know. But, if you want to take some guesses as to what Rockfest is up to with some of these leaks that they
teased
yesterday. feel free to share that with us.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Minnesota and Illinois are suing Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem, aiming to curb the Homeland Security's crackdown on immigration enforcement after that woman was shot and killed by the federal agent last week. Officials in Minnesota seeking to stop Homeland Security agents from deploying to the state over the objections of Governor Tim Walz and the mayors of the Twin Cities. Illinois attorneys are asking the court to bar federal agents from using controversial tactics employed in their crackdown on the Chicago area. Court filings come as hundreds and hundreds of more federal agents are being sent to Minnesota and Illinois, obviously. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison said the deployments amounted to a federal invasion. So they're trying to sue the government, federal government. So is Illinois, apparently. Barbie launching their new autistic doll, right? A Barbie doll with autism.
Mm-hmm, on the spectrum, sure.
In an effort to represent how individuals with autism spectrum disorder experience the world around them. The doll, which is part of their Fashionistas line, includes intentional design choices like flexible elbow and hand joints for different purposes, which refers to repetitive body movement behavior that some people with autism engage in to process sensory information. Accessories also reflect those of some autistic people. Noise-canceling headphones, loose-fitting clothing, a tablet with augmentative and alternative communication apps. Mattel said the doll had been in development for more than 18 months in partnership with the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, a nonprofit disability rights organization that aims to empower the autistic community.
The fidget spinner feels relatable. I, myself, carry around a toy bag, and fidget spinners are one of the many toys I have in there.
I did approve her dress. It has frills, and loose dresses makes her feel comfortable.
What are these?
Headphones.
You got headphones, don't you?
The eye gaze is a little indirect, because as people with autism often struggle with eye contact.
I was looking at a Barbie, and it makes me feel really amazing and proud.
Seeing her play with a doll, it gives me a sense of peace.
Obviously, some reactions from some people who have autistic kids seeing the Barbie autism doll. It'll be available starting this week at Mattel Shop and at Target for about $12.
Yeah, and obviously building on the importance of feeling understood and connected, but also they did years of research at Cardiff University on what playing with dolls does. So not just this particular doll, but empathy, social processing skills, and then the study built on those, suggesting that doll play could develop social skills for kids specifically who are struggling with social interaction and autism, including those who display traits commonly associated with autism. So the whole thing is built on not only the dolls and acceptance and looking like me and having familiar things to me, but the actual act of playing with dolls themselves. They donated more than 1,000 of these Barbies to pediatric hospitals that provide specialized services for children on the spectrum.
Cool. The U.S. Marshals are now involved in the hunt for Timothy Busfield, so we might get a wandered into the desert and took his own life situation, or maybe tried to flee the country type situation, go to a non-extradition type place. But Timothy Busfield, actor who has been accused of sexual assault on a child, is apparently on the run or missing. U.S. Marshals Service have stepped in to help locate him after a warrant was issued for his arrest over alleged child sex abuse crimes. The Albuquerque Police Department confirming that they are working with U.S. Marshals Services to locate and arrest Timothy Busfield. The arrest warrant alleges that Busfield, who's married to Melissa Gilbert, engaged in unlawful sexual conduct with 11-year-old twin boys while working on a television program in New Mexico called The Cleaning Lady. But yeah, he apparently nowhere to be found, and now they're looking for him. The warrant has been issued, and
he's just not around right now?
Well, not where they think he is or where he lives, I'm guessing, in either on the run, hiding, or maybe took his own life already. I have no idea. These are assumptions I'm making, but
right, disturbing content nonetheless. Supposedly, I mean, that's
the police department there in New Mexico, and now U.S. Marshals working to track this guy down. A couple of recalls recently. I don't know if you saw, there was a tater tot recall.
saw the Parmesan cheese one.
And then there's also another one on cheese. Food and Drug Administration announcing that a recall of cheese products has been upgraded to the most serious risk category after testing positive for potentially deadly bacteria, Listeria.
Yep, I saw this one because we eat a lot of Parm in our house. It was shredded Parmesans, right? So,
well, look, you open a drawer and you got 7 different kinds of cheese. You've got shredded, you've got grated, you've got blocks of cheese, you got cheese sticks, you got cheese curds, you got cheese here and cheese there. So
I looked this one up because I was like, that is not great.
There's a ton of different products and names and batch numbers and all that stuff, but it's the Ambriola company first issuing a voluntary recall in November for certain cheese products that were produced at the company's facility in New Jersey. And again, there's a whole bunch of different names and sizes and batch numbers and stuff, but if you've got cheese and you're concerned about the cheese recall or the tater tot recall, obviously go to the FDA's website to find out more about that stuff or give it a Google. And last but not least, there's a bunch of monkeys on the loose in St. Louis. Did you hear about this?
Now from the zoo?
I don't know. They're warning residents not to approach the animals.
Maybe it's as of
Saturday, an unknown number of monkeys remained at large around the vicinity of O'Fallon Park in North City, located in North St. Louis. Original reports indicated there were 4, but officials, quote, cannot confirm an actual number at this time, only that there is more than one. Animal control officers dispatched to a neighborhood unable to find the monkeys. On Friday, several officers patrolling the area based on further reports of sightings, still unable to locate the animals. We are engaging with partner agencies that are properly trained and equipped to safely capture these animals. Once they're captured, they'll be taken to a facility certified to care for exotic animals. Didn't know where the monkeys came from, whether it was a lab or exotic animals that somebody owned illegally.
Sounds like that, because it's not a zoo, it's not a lab that they know of, and owning these primates in the city is prohibited. So nobody's going to go, hey, they're my illegal monkeys.
Right. They say that a primate expert for the St. Louis Zoo identified the animals as vervet monkeys, which are, quote, very intelligent and social, but may be unpredictable or aggressive under stress. Small, black-faced monkey commonly found in East Africa, and there are apparently several on the loose in St. Louis. They're trying to track these guys down. You obviously don't want to have some sort of issue with an aggressive, unpredictable monkey.
Yeah, and there's pictures of them on people's porches and things like that, but they're saying just leave them, let us know where you've spotted them, and we'll send the experts in. Please do that. Don't try to get yourself a monkey.
Monkeys on the loose. Did you have that on your apocalypse bingo card for 2026?
Don't have any plans to be in St. Louis, so I think I'll be all right.
Well, they can travel.
I'm not going that far.
I don't know if they're going to go where it's colder. They might stay in St. Louis where maybe it's not as cold as it is in Wisconsin. But monkeys on the loose in St. Louis. Sports coming up in a bit. Slipknot in a few minutes as well. Right now, Mammoth.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Wild Card Weekend wrapping up last night. The Houston Texans absolutely throttling Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final score 30-6.
It is a 30-6 win for the Houston Texans with a dominating defensive performance. The Steelers are finished, and DeMeco Ryans' Texans are moving on to a date with the New England Patriots. Rodgers' last pass went for a pick 6.
Nice little jab at A-Rod there at the end. Pittsburgh and their head coach Mike Tomlin have now dropped 7 straight playoff games, with Mike Tomlin now tying former Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis for the longest postseason losing skid in NFL history. So he gets there. But then they, much like the Packers, can't seem to get out of their own way and make it to the next round. Aaron Rodgers, as he was leaving the field, getting yelled at by people. It's hard to understand because it's so much noise, but someone said that he should retire. Kind of here and there. Aaron, retire.
Oh, okay.
He said, I'm not going to make any emotional decisions. Disappointed, obviously such a fun year, a lot of adversity, but a lot of fun. Been a great year overall in my life. in the last year, and this is a really good part of that, being a part of this team. So it's disappointing to be sitting here, but not making any decisions yet about whether or not he's going to return for another season. Divisional round starts on Saturday. The NFL has officially released all of the matchups and the times.
All right.
Starting on Saturday. Buffalo at Denver, 3:30 on CBS. Then you've got San Francisco at Seattle at 7 o'clock on Fox. And then on Sunday, they flip-flopped them. Originally, they had the Patriots as the night game, but now Sunday, it's Texans at New England at 2 p.m. on ESPN and ABC. Let's go! And then the Rams at the Bears. The Bears. At 5:30 on NBC and Peacock to wrap up the weekend.
That's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. So two games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. On Saturday, they started 3:30 and 7, and then on Sunday, it's 2 and 5:30. Bucs were off last night, but they are at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight at 7 p.m., and the Badgers are also facing a team from Minnesota, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Badger men's basketball team at Minnesota tonight, 6 p.m., that game on the Big Ten Network. Divisional round. It's nice. I don't have to stay up so late. I can watch a nice afternoon game on Sunday instead of having to wait till 7 o'clock.
Well, that'll be fun on Saturday, too. We'll be out and having those games on starting in the afternoon will be good. That'll be fun.
Divisional round, then conference championships, and then biggity bam, a week off and Super Bowl. We'll talk to Grant Bilse, obviously, after 8 o'clock about his reaction to the wild card weekend, his thoughts about the upcoming divisional round. If you've got some thoughts you want to share, rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Meet the Curl Screamer. He approaches the dumbbells like he's about to lift a car off a trapped child. Then curls 20 pounds and announces it to the building. Every rep comes with a scream, a grunt, or a noise usually reserved for medical emergencies. No struggle, no effort, just volume. Lift quietly, because if you can scream, the weight is lying to you.
Take it easy in the gym. Yeah. Years ago when I cared about what I looked like and I was going to the gym for a while, there was a guy and he just...
Oh, yeah, it helps.
And it helps. And it wasn't a pumping iron gym. It was like an all-around gym, right? They had stair climbers, they had treadmills.
Like the Y?
They had, yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was the Y. And so it was a multi-use room. This is the old, before they put the big, beautiful, big, beautiful addition. Before they did that, you know, and it had a bunch of machines in there, and but they also had some free weight, and the guy just, and it was like middle of the day, and then he'd walk around, and he'd like, dude, come on, man.
That's a thing. It's your own cheerleader, Brian.
I guess. Don't be that guy. Take it easy in the gym, all right? Poetry at Work Day. Doc's in a truck driving around, so he's technically at work. Roses are red, violets are pink. Jean is one hot mama, Brian is a dink. Happy National Poetry at Work Day. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. I am a dink. Double income, no kids.
I know. I've known that.
Streaming premiere of The Running Man on Paramount Plus today. This is the remake of the Arnold classic, The Running Man. The only true Running Man is the one that stars Arnold from the 80s.
On your marks. Get set.
Killian, I'll be back.
I'll be back. Only in a rerun.
Yeah. Save yourself some time and energy. Watch the original. It's way better. On NBC tonight, Coast to Coast Tuesday, Oklahoma City Thunder in the first game hosting the San Antonio Spurs. That'll be at 7 o'clock. And then the Golden State Warriors taking on the Portland Trailblazers at 10 p.m. in the late game. NBA on NBC. Coast to Coast Tuesday. Also on the Boob Tube tonight, series premiere of Suddenly Amish on TLC. Reality show, because this happens in reality all the time, where 6 non-Amish people give up modern life to live in a traditional Amish community in Pennsylvania as they consider fully converting.
We've been spending most our lives living in an Amish paradise.
We churned butter once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. Suddenly Amish, debuting on TLC.
Yeah, there's a rapper, a content creator, a divorced dad, and they all have to go live, obviously, with no technology and leave their modern lives and, go inside.
Build a barn. Built a barn on Sunday, and soon I'll build another.
Quiet, non-tech lifestyle.
Well, up before the crack of dawn and working the entire time and...
Very community-focused, very faith-focused.
A lot of beards. Do you got to grow a beard?
Maybe.
Suddenly Amish on TLC. Third season premiere of Tell Me Lies on Hulu. You've also got new episodes of Best Medicine, Will Trent, Doc, High Potential, and The Rookie. Late night shows are all new. Jimmy Fallon's talking to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Grace Van Patten and Madison Beer are also going to be on with Jimmy Fallon. Big lineup there. Kimmel's got Noah Wiley, Tig Notaro, Miles Catan, and several others, Raphael Sadiq. Stephen Colbert's got Amanda Siegfried and Yo-Yo Ma, Little Nepetiz. And Seth Meyers is going to be talking to Kristen Wiig and Jay Jordan. That's what's on the boob tube tonight. We watched a movie last night that I have been waiting to watch. It's now on Hulu, and it's called Together. And it's a body horror movie.
It's the people that stick. They go down in the cave or whatever. They find something and then they stick together.
So it's Dave Franco, James Franco's brother.
They're real married in real life, right?
And Allison Brie. I don't know if they're real married, but Dave Franco and Allison Brie are a couple. And they are living in the city, some city, and they decide to move to the country. She's got a good job as a teacher. And as you sort of described there, they end up hiking just to check out some of the trails in the area, get out of the house, and they end up in this cave with all sorts of mysterious qualities, and there's some water there, and the next thing you know, they're getting stuck together.
Like stuck together.
It's interesting, to say the least.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as it started happening in the cave, because they stay down there for the first night, and that's when it first occurs. It happens almost immediately, and they're able to pull each other apart. The first thought in my head is, man, the next time they bang, that dude's wiener's getting stuck in her vagina, and that's exactly what happened later in the movie. And I was like, I knew it. It was actually pretty easy to call. About
see what was coming here.
Well, about halfway through the movie, I said to my wife, we watch a lot of movies. Obviously, you try to predict what's going to happen, the outcome, and I got it spot on. I knew right away what was happening.
It wasn't good though.
It was a good watch.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you don't like body horror, there wasn't a lot of like crazy blood and guts and stuff like that. But it's just that whole. Would not want to have my body sucked into another person's body. No, thank you. Or stick to them.
Mm-mm.
Nope. No matter how far away you go, you're getting dragged towards each other. The nice thing, too, is that it doesn't really... the movie itself, again, it's called Together, and it's on Hulu if you want to watch it. Starring Dave Franco and... Is it Allison Brie? I think it's Allison Brie, right? The nice thing is that some movies, when it's this sort of thing, they try to get into how this all happens and sort of there's no explanation.
It's just
this
together.
Water in a cave, and it causes this to happen.
Used to be a church, and now you're stuck together.
Right, and you don't need to have a huge explanation as to how this all goes down. But it was okay if you want to watch it. Probably not for you. I don't think
that's not for me.
Not a thing you'd like. Unlike that movie, The Substance, with Demi Moore, where it was real creepy and weird body horror, this one is not as...
more tolerable?
Yeah. It's also new release Tuesday, and new on DVD is Hate to Love, Nickelback, an intimate portrait of the Canadian rockers and their roller coaster career from their roots in rural Alberta, Canada, to becoming one of the most successful yet divisive acts in music history.
In the 2000s, there wasn't a band on the planet that got more radio airplay than Nickelback.
How You Remind Me has been considered one of America's most played songs ever.
All of that exposure triggered a reaction.
Why does everybody hate Nickelback? Nickel bad, Nickel hack, Nickel bomb, Nickel creep.
Nobody picks up a guitar to be in the most hated band in the world.
They were part of cancel culture before we had a name for it.
It's kind of just like a long-running meme.
They became the most hated band in music.
Hate to Love, Nickelback, a documentary featuring interviews and video footage about the band and their rise to fame and why they became the most hated band in America for a time.
That's interesting.
Also new on New Release Tuesday, I watched the trailer for this, and even though it's one of these like direct-to-DVD sort of throwaway movies that famous actors do just to make some money, it looks pretty good. I might watch it. It's called Hunting Season. It stars Mel Gibson. A reclusive survivalist and his daughter rescue a mysterious wounded woman.
Oh, yeah.
From
I
want to
see this too.
They become entangled in a deadly web of violence and revenge, forcing them to confront a brutal criminal to survive.
Somebody shot her, left her dead. What do you figure they'll do if they find out she's alive?
The girl, she got seen today.
Take care of it. This brotherhood, who are they?
These people, god dang animals.
I'm looking for somebody.
No.
Get back in the house, tool up, unlock all the doors.
Yes, sir.
You understand what kind of mess this girl is in? You don't want to mess with these people.
I'm planning on it. Sometimes we don't get to pick what we want to do.
My money is always on the old guy in the woods with all the guns. I don't care how violent or criminal your empire is. Give me the old guy in the woods with all the guns. That dude knows what's up. Booby traps, rifles,
I saw some clips,
semi-automatics, all that stuff. It's called Hunting Season, and I think I might try to watch that this afternoon when I get home from work after I get done with all the stuff I got to do. That's what's new on New Release Tuesday.
Let me know how it is, because I did see, I'm interested in that too.
Look, I like Mel Gibson. I know he's obviously had a bad run for a while with some of the stuff that's
old
gone
guy
on.
in the woods with his daughter and a
survivalist. You know he's going to win. Come on now. Come on.
But he's going to take down a lot of bad guys, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. That's what's new on New Release Tuesday, and some stuff you can watch on TV tonight. We'll get to Grant Bilse after 8 o'clock. Going to talk about this new, not new, but this viral TikTok health hack that I might start trying this week. Might see how it goes. Also going to talk about your cell phone a bit later on.
Not mine, everybody's.
Yeah, more of a general topic about cell phones. So we'll get to all that right now. Guns N' Roses.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
A guy near Baltimore being hailed as a hero, helping a woman and her 2 kids escape a burning house recently.
Okay. Came upon it or something? Or
no, this was last week. A woman in Baltimore trapped upstairs with her 2 sons. The only way out was a bedroom window. The fire right below them. Stephen Angelini, neighbor, saw the fire from across the street, ran over and stood below the window. She's got her 2 young sons.
Catching people?
And look, a 2-story drop certainly could do some damage. Probably not going to kill the kid, but you never know. And so he's down there telling her to drop the kids and he'll catch them. And that's exactly what he did. And by the time they got out, some other neighbors were able to come over with a ladder. And so she was able to climb down the ladder and escape to safety.
Quick thinking.
But everybody got out safely. Nobody got injured. And this guy helping out.
Yeah, way to have
fairly high up there, so dropping your kids is an extremely scary thought, but I had to get them out because it was literally life or death. Got to my second son's bedroom, got him out of bed, came back into my bedroom, opened this front window right here. He stood under me and just kept saying, drop them, Ash, I got him, drop them, I'm going to catch him, just drop them. And I just let go. When he realized what I did with his younger brother, he panicked and he held onto the wall and he said, I'm not letting go, I'm not jumping. And I looked him straight in the eyes, I said, if you don't jump, we're dying. He looked at me and re-gripped and I just pushed him off.
I saw what you did to bro. I didn't like that very much, pushing him out of a window.
Ashley Gubernat, I think is how you pronounce her last name, asleep at the time when the smoke alarm went off. Trapped upstairs, fire raging downstairs on the first floor. We're not going to be able
to get out through the stairs, so how are we getting out of this house?
Woke up, smoke quickly filling the house, rushed to get her 2 young sons to safety, grabbed the younger son from his bedroom, carried him to the front window. She could hear her older son screaming for help outside of his room, banging on the side of the wall, panicking, help me, help me.
Terrifying.
That's when Steve, the neighbor, came running over and told her to drop the first son out the window and that he would catch him, and that's exactly what he did. Then the second son, as you heard, was like, nah, I'm not really feeling that,
I'm hesitant on this, Mom. I saw you drop him out the window. I'm not too sure about this plan.
Yeah, and thankfully he caught both kids, and then some neighbors showed up with a ladder, were able to get her out safely, and everybody escaped without injury. Very good call.
We went through fire plans all the time with the girls because their bedroom was upstairs, and it's like there's one staircase out of here, right? So what happens if that's filled with smoke or fire? How are you getting out of this? This window, and you're jumping is what you're doing. You're jumping into those bushes.
Yeah. It's going to suck, but you're going to live.
That's what you're going to do, right? Like, and practicing opening the windows and getting out on the little roof and then, walking through that whole plan.
There's a guy named Kerwin Pittman. You ever heard of Kerwin Pittman?
Sounds interesting, though.
He just bought an abandoned jail in North Carolina and is turning it into a workforce campus. Can house up to 300 people who need a place to live when they get out of jail. They'll learn job skills while they're there. He's focusing on the trades that are in high demand, like plumbers and electricians. This guy is a former inmate. He's an ex-con. And he runs a charity that helps other inmates ease back into society and get jobs. And he's now apparently the first former inmate to ever own his own prison. Kind of a weird thing, right? To get out of prison, go right back in, but obviously a whole different type of situation. He recently purchased the former Wayne Correctional Center in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Says he's the first formerly incarcerated person in the U.S. to purchase a prison. I don't know if there's a Guinness Book of World Records record for that, but he's the founder and executive director of Recidivism Reduction Education Program Services. Sent to prison at age 18, served 11 years and 6 months for conspiracy to commit murder.
Wow. He was incarcerated a long time.
This year will mark 8 years since his release and his return to the community in which he was born and raised. He said, I started a nonprofit when I came home and began advocating for individuals coming out of the incarceration system, but I also put in programming to try to help them reintegrate into society with a little more ease. Said his experience behind bars gave him insight into what other former individuals that are incarcerated needed when they left prison. He said, I had family support, so I had housing, but a lot of my friends didn't have a place to go. Or if they did, there was a time limit on how long they could stay.
Right, and how long are they supposed to figure something? How can they figure out what's next if they've only got a couple weeks at a place?
Yeah. Plans to create re-entry housing and a workforce campus where formerly incarcerated people can attain job skills or industry certifications. Good for him. Former incarcerated individual buying his own prison. Probably going to take the fence down, I'm assuming. Give it a
probably more
of an open look.
Yeah, more of a less celly, less bars.
About an hour away from talking to Grant Bilse of the Wisco Sports Show. Bad News, Happy Music coming up later on as well. And in just a few moments, going to talk about this health hack that I might start trying this week.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Is it really that simple? I just have to jump around?
That's not simple. Have you tried jumping around for this whole song?
Not the whole song, but
yeah,
for a little while at least.
What are you going to jump around to health? I bet it works.
There's a health hack that went viral last November on the TikTok, and it's basically just jumping.
Yeah.
50 times.
I have zero doubt that works.
They say that if you're trying to be healthier this year, you can obviously go to a gym, you can join a club, you can do all the crazy exercises, all the stuff.
All sorts of ways to go about it.
All sorts of different ways. This one, I don't know, speaks to me a little bit.
You're going to jump?
You start your morning by jumping 50 times, and there's literally nothing else to it. You just jump up and down 50 times in a row.
Like I said, I've jumped around at Jump Around, and I get it.
A handful of people who have tried this viral TikTok health hacks say that it's life-changing.
So you don't need a jump rope. This is just jumping around.
Others say it's a bit of a stretch, but they have noticed some differences, made noticeable differences in their lives. One woman said she did it for a week, said it made her feel, quote, more awake, lighter on her feet, and better in general all day long.
Soft knees, kind of helping with your knees a little bit.
Experts say that, yes, starting your morning by jumping might be a good idea.
We can miss to make ya jump, jump. Go Mac Daddy make ya jump, jump. Oh, Daddy Mac go make ya jump, jump.
Thankfully, there's no shortage of songs about jumping. Got all sorts of tunes I can crank out while I'm listening to music and jumping 50 times in a row.
Well, here's the science, right? So increases your heart rate, which then boosts your circulation, which improves your lymphatic flow, which helps clear your body of waste. It elevates your temperature, primes your metabolism, stimulates blood flow to your hands and feet, literally every other area of your body. So the benefit there is the big picture, right? So
every other area?
Every other area, Brian. All the areas are getting better blood flow.
I'm already getting blood flow in the morning to that area. I don't need any more blood flow.
More blood.
I don't need any more blood. It's already full of blood. That thing
Did you hear that other thing? Did you hear all that other stuff?
That blood sausage is full.
Did you hear?
I heard. Well, yeah. Well, what do I got to do it the moment I get out of the bed? Or
no, I don't think so.
Just at some point in the morning,
yes.
Like when I'm in my routine?
Wake up, you jump 50 times. Gentle bounce, you can do that. You can do a higher impact if that's your deal.
Well, I think if you start out, you're just probably going to be doing like a little...
Yes, and then eventually maybe you're doing a little bit more.
I'm not going to try to like jump over things, right?
Soft knee bend through the ball of your feet.
No, I don't like the soft knee bend.
Well, what are you doing? Are you tucking? And
Keep doing that.
No, I'm not doing I'm not doing that. That was 10. I just did 10.
Itty-bitty committee over here. 10?
Yeah, it was 10.
50 of them, right? Do you increase or do you just stick with 50? Like at some point, do you get to a point where I can do 100?
First of all, do that. And do that every morning for a week, and then we'll talk about
50 of them?
50 of them.
Because my schedule, like I everything happens the same every morning. It has to.
So you could do 50 jumps in the studio.
Well, I don't know if I'd do them here or if I do them at home. I like to get ready and get out of the house and get here so I can get into work mode. You know what I mean? Mentally.
That's why I think maybe here would be better.
So maybe do them here?
Yeah. Like do your routine, get to the studio, do some stuff, and then take a break while you do your 50
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do them right out of bed because the dog would be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yes.
I need to go outside.
It's too much. And you're in the dark.
I get up and the dog has to go out, and then I let the dog back in. Generally, my wife goes and sleeps in another room because I snore or she's uncomfortable or whatever. So then I have to wake her up and put her back in the master bedroom with the dogs. And then I take my shower, get dressed, grab my coffee and whatever else I'm bringing to work.
You're jumping here. You're not doing that.
So I'm doing it when I get here?
Yeah.
50 times?
And you could pick songs to jump to because you've got the whole library in front of you.
How long do you think it takes to jump 50 times? It's only like,
Are you taking a break?
2-3 minutes?
Couple minutes.
Couple minutes?
Really listen to me. What? White men can't jump.
Bitch, I can jump. I can jump a lot. 50 times in a row.
It's going to be more tiring than you think.
I'm not saying that it's going to be a cakewalk.
It won't.
It certainly sounds a lot better than doing things with kettlebells. And I seen one of our coworkers' wives. She's always posting videos of her working out. And she's down on her hands and knees, and she's kicking her legs out behind her. And that looks awful. That looks terrible. That doesn't look... What are those, the burpees? You ever done a burpee? Jesus Christ. Who invented that? Some sadist. Probably somebody in
very good shape. That's what they did.
Somebody in a prison invented that thing. Good Lord. That is some punishment right there.
But some jump around. Makes sense.
Yeah. That's it. Just jumping 50 times every morning. When do I see results? When does that happen? Like, it'd take a week, 2 weeks? I got a doctor's appointment coming up. If I can get this thing and going in the right direction, I don't have to take any more pills. That'd be nice.
Doc, I've been jumping for month now. Do it. I
got 2 weeks before I
go
see
you
this guy.
really jump a lot then.
All right. Viral health hack from TikTok.
Around.
Just jumping 50 times in a row every morning. How's your walking thing going?
It's good.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
You got to get me the brand name. I told you.
Yeah, mine's not good.
Well, I don't need a good one. I want an affordable one. We went and looked at some, and they were like $700 to $900.
No.
I'm like, I'm not paying that for. I just might as well get a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
What was yours? A couple $100? Three?
No,
two,
like
three?
140. It's cheap.
Oh, snap. That's the one I need.
Yeah.
But it works, right?
Walking on it.
That dude at the store was like all about trying to sell me that one for $600.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
He's like, well, we might have it in the back. We can get an order and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, dude, do I look like the kind of guy who's just going to make a decision right now about walking? No, man. All right, so add the walking pad.
And the jumping around.
And the jump
you
around.
got
Dude,
2
I'm going
weeks,
to be
man.
chiseled. I'm going to be effing chiseled,
Look
man.
at these.
Look at this ab. I just want to have one ab.
Yeah, I know.
Just one. Just once.
That's not happening with the
I should have done this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I look back. I thought I was. I hate that. I used to think I was fat, and now I'm fat, and I'm like, God.
If I could just look like I did when I thought I was.
If I could be fat from 2016
Yes.
fat.
Oh, man.
As opposed to 2026 fat.
I'd be like without a shirt all the time.
Oh, God. Yeah, speaking of, he came over my house, too, yesterday to drop off a hoodie for my dog. And I was like, you and your abs. Get out of here. Yeah. Can you imagine what it would feel like to like go to the beach or the pool and take your shirt off with no shame? That must be the best feeling in the world. Like, everyone's going to be looking at this. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. That's the bros who are yelling at the weights. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's the screaming curling guy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that either.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
POD, Youth of the Nation. On Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, as we mentioned earlier, the Pittsburgh Steelers got absolutely throttled by the Houston Texans last night in the final game of the wild card weekend. 30-6, the final score.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron Rodgers looked like ass. Couldn't do anything right.
Yeah. Is that true? That's what happened?
Yeah. Pick 6 might be his final play. A really bad attempt at tackling a guy as he took the ball in for the score. We'll see what happens. He didn't want to make any decisions right after the game, obviously, but that sets up the divisional rounds starting on Saturday. Buffalo at Denver, 3:30 on CBS. Also on Saturday, San Fran at Seattle. That's a late game. It'll be 7 o'clock on Fox. And then on Sunday, starts off with the Texans at the Patriots, 2 p.m. on ESPN and ABC. And then finally, you've got the Rams at the Bears on NBC and Peacock on Sunday night at 5:30. Five-time major champion Brooks Koepka is returning to the PGA Tour as part of a new returning member program. In a memo sent to PGA Tour members yesterday, the tour said Koepka is expected to make his return in the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines on January 29th through February 1st. He's also expected to play in the Waste Management Phoenix Open at TPC Scottsdale the following week. The returning member program allows live golfers who have been away from the PGA Tour for at least 2 years and who won the Players' Championship or one of the 4 majors since 2022 to return to the PGA Tour under certain conditions and with severe financial penalties. I think Koepka's paying like $5 million to get back.
Ooh, that is a severe financial penalty.
So he had, there was a story this weekend that he wanted to go back to the PGA Tour, and now it's official and going to get back on tour with the PGA starting at the end of this month. Did you see the bobsledder?
No, but I was going to tell you about this. Deidre Irwin is her name, from Wisconsin, who's going to be in the Olympics. I'll tell you about that. But the bobsledder, was this a trial for the Olympic runs? Is that what's going on?
Right off the bat, the only audio I had of this was in like a different language because it was happening in Switzerland. And so it would have been useless because you can't, other than the excitement in the guy's voice, you can't really tell what he's saying. But a driver for the bobsled, the U.S. bobsled driver, a guy named Chris Horn, ended up going for a very scary solo ride down the track in St. Moritz, Switzerland during a World Cup event on Sunday. Only passenger in the bobsled after his 3 American teammates who make up the 4-man sled team didn't get into the bobsled after the initial push at the top of the track. So, you know, he's in there. He's in the front, right? He's driving it. So he's got it. I don't know how it all works, but he's in there with the controls. He's right up front, and he's locked in, and they do the back, and they rock it back. And then they start running, and then they all jump in.
But they don't get in.
No, they bounce off this. Oh, yeah, they fall, and then they're sliding down the track.
Yeah, I see that.
And this guy is off like a rocket ship. And then he's got to try to and you know, this thing's taking the corners at like 70 miles an hour, and it's basically like the G-force is pushing it up against the wall like this, so you're almost upside down.
But he needs the missile weight of the other teammates.
But he needs the weight to hold this stupid bobsled down, and he doesn't have it. And he's trying to move back to grab the brake because the brake is behind him. So at some point, he's got to try to maneuver and I watched the whole thing. I was captivated by it. If you haven't seen it, just Google U.S. bobsled.
So he's a dodging bullet, basically, flying down
How
the
that thing didn't flip over and kill him, I don't know. I mean, it was just, yeah, it was crazy to watch. The sled moving down the course very quickly with this guy at the front of the sled in his usual seat before managing to get himself to the back where he could pull the brake.
How the hell was he doing that while he was going down the thing?
In a reasonable time and again, this is glare ice. This guy is on just ice. He's got nothing to do. 75 miles an hour is as fast as that thing, like a bullet.
And he's trying to move from seat to seat to get to the...
Yes. Yes. If you haven't seen the video, it's absolutely captivating. I loved every second of it. And I just was like, I know nothing about this stuff, right? I like watching the Olympics, but man, that looks scary as hell. At some point, he's taking those corners, and again, he's going up that wall, and you're like, that thing's going to flip over, and it's going to land on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do it. It was crazy to watch, though. Who's this Olympian from Wisconsin?
Deidre Irwin is her name.
Irwin?
And she was in the 2022 Olympics in China and took 7th place in the relatively obscure biathlon event. Remember this, where they
skiing and shooting. They got the guns and they got the ski. Yeah, they cross country ski and then they got the rifles.
Nordic skiing and then shooting. She was the first. That was the best ever finished by an American. She'll compete next month in Italy, and she's from a teeny tiny town in Wisconsin, Angelica, population 1,822.
Somebody that's probably pretty good at rifles.
She lives up the road on the hillside. My mother's house is 2 doors down from her mother's house.
Skied to school every day. Had to shoot bears on the way to school.
Apparently, she tells people she's from Green Bay because it's the biggest. That's where we go shopping and I go to church and stuff. So I can tell them that because nobody would know what it means.
I do the same thing about my hometown because it's easier to say Boston than they know exactly where it is.
She lives up on the hillside up there, by the way. But now she lives in Vermont. She has all of her family still in Wisconsin, and she gives them a shout out. But now she grew up dreaming of competing in track and field and being in the Olympics. She's in the biathlon with Nordic skiing and target shooting, that event. She lives now she was in the Pulaski Polka Days Parade after the Olympics back in 2022 because she's a hero, right?
Irv's Polka Hideaway in Pulaski, Wisconsin.
Pulaski.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Irv's Polka Hideaway? There's a bar up there, Irv's Polka Hideaway.
She's a huge star, obviously, in her hometown, but she lives now in Vermont, and she's in the National Guard, by the way.
She's a badass, is what you're saying.
And she's going to be...
You mean like the rest of the Olympians who are probably all badasses?
Yes, yeah. So anyway, if you want to cheer for somebody from Wisconsin right now who's in the National Guard, a member of the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program with Wisconsin roots, you look for this girl. Her name is Deidre Irwin.
They better get this kid on a podcast or on a T-shirt and cash in on these 15 minutes because you know how fast these things can go by.
In and out, flash of a pan.
Talked to a girl, lasted for a good couple of months.
Had a good run last summer.
Had podcasts and then tried to do some Bitcoin or something and it went bad. And now where the hell is Paktua Girl, right? She disappeared from relevancy.
I think she was in a movie. Didn't she have a part in it?
I don't know. This Eagles fan, though, this young Eagles fan, after the loss to the 49ers, though, had an interview, all-time interview with the local media, and they better get this kid on a podcast or something and cash in.
Yes, this was a huge letdown. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss.
Oh, no. You probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side, he's cooking. One half, he's cooking. And the other half is completely raw.
Yeah, it's cooking. That one half's cooking.
Sam Salvo is the kid's name. I think he's around 11 years old. Christmas present was tickets to the Eagles playoff game. As you heard at the beginning, he said, "This is my Christmas." Witnessed everything go down in flames. Said he would have rather gotten coal in his stocking than watch that playoff loss. Ripping A.J. Brown for dropping passes. And also called out the OC, Kevin Patullo, saying he better get a new job after his horrendous job as the OC for the Eagles.
I hate the Eagles, man.
He's
Sam
cooking,
Salvo.
and then he's not cooking. This side's cooking, that's not.
Love it. Super angry Eagles kid. Just not having it. We'll get to, let's see, what do we get to? We're going to talk about phones. Talking about these phones. Cell phones. Going to talk about phones.
Okay.
We'll get to that here in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
Hello. This is a reminder that you are currently being helped by artificial intelligence. You might think you are tech-free, but just used autocorrect to fix a typo. Then used call screening to dodge a spam call. I also noticed you enjoyed that photo memory slideshow of your dog. I'm the one who curated that because you do not have a clue. I'm also the one who helps you with directions, recipes, weather, and reminders. That's not magic. That's me. You're welcome.
Ew. Creepy. AI. It's everywhere, Gene. It's everywhere. It's in your phone. It's on your computer. It's up your butt. It's everywhere. Keeping an eye on you. Keeping tabs on you. AI. What is something that you wish your phone could do right now? Something that it's not able to do as of right now.
I don't know, charge from just not having to be charged. I don't know, have a never-ending battery.
You always have a problem with the phone.
Yes, I do.
You're a constant concern when it comes to the phone and charging.
Like a solar powered, maybe? Or something?
It was always hilarious to me when you would show up late for work and you'd be like, oh, my kids were messing around with my phone and so it didn't get plugged in. And I was like...
That's a thing that happened.
Have you ever tried parenting?
Oh, please. Please.
So
translating languages, maybe? Like,
as
I mean,
a person
I know
who
it does.
as a person who just went overseas, I mean, I figured that might be.
Well, it does. I mean, you can obviously with a translator, but dude, it
takes time.
It takes time, and it's bad signals, and you're following it on the menu, and it's like you got to have it exactly right, and it's only doing something. But like speaking, like in real time, that'd be cool. Find itself when it's lost without an air tag. I don't know.
I as a person who dealt with this when my mom died.
Locks, finding out
the locks and we've got to figure out. There's got to be and I get it. I understand
security purposes. Crazy
ex-boyfriend. I get it. I get all of the bad situations. But as a person who couldn't
get into
my mom's phone after she died, no matter what I tried. It was,
and you involved the phone company and
the first thing we did was I tried to do it myself, and you only get so many tries before it says, hey, we're going to do this factory reset, and then it's going to delete all the stuff on it, which is not what I want, right? I want to get to the pictures and see what's on there. There might be some good stuff that I want to keep,
right, or information that's necessary while you're processing things.
So then we went to the store that she had the service through, and they're like, yeah, we can't do anything for you. Good luck with that, basically.
And you had death certificates and everything.
Yes, and then we went to one of these, fix the phone stores, right? And they said, yeah, we really can't do anything. You might want to try the actual Samsung manufacturer, which is in Salem, Massachusetts. And we were out there, of course, because she had died. And we called them, and they said, yeah, we can't. You'd have to petition and blah, 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 and all this. And I said, Jesus Christ.
Why can't this happen?
It's like 4 effing numbers. You guys, come on, man. Like, I've got all the stuff. My mom died. Like, this is, and you're dealing with this while you're trying to grieve and deal with all of that, right? And I'm like, I just want to get into my mom's phone so I can see pictures that she had on there in case I want to print them off or keep them or what. You know what I mean? Like, and now I've just got this dead technology. It's a paperweight. Anyways.
So some way to be able to get inside.
Just a little bit more. And this has really very little to do with the phone. It has more to do with the companies and understanding, like, okay, maybe we should make it a little bit easier for people when they're dealing with these situations, right? Samsung, actually, speaking of Samsung, polling 2,000 people. They didn't ask me, obviously, because I didn't get to tell them about this whole thing with the dead mom stuff. They asked people about what features they hope their phones will have within the next 10 years.
I'm betting people are saying maybe opening locks so you don't have to have keys to get into the house or something.
Well, you can already do that with some phones.
Some of them.
With the RFID chips and all that stuff. Right off the top, Gene, right what you said, last an entire week on a single charge.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if you didn't have to worry about charging it?
Somebody said charging without needing electricity, like it charges through movement or in the sun, or maybe it just is around.
Body energy even or something. Some sort of,
I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're working on it.
Because when you're traveling and trying to find a charger at an airport or a train station or whatever, forget it.
Well, and when you need to call the Uber guy is when you have 2% left on your phone. You're like, my phone's going to die. Please make sure you pick me up. I don't want to get killed over here. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to make that emergency call. Number one, battery life, increasing the battery life. Number 2, as you mentioned, again, real-time language translation. So you could actually talk to someone on the phone, even if you don't speak the same language, and it's automatically AIing it right there for you.
Yes.
You see it in the movies. They certainly have been thinking of that, and I'm sure there are apps out there that can kind of do that for you.
There are,
but it's difficult.
Then you have to go through the process of that as opposed to direct, yes.
Again, Samsung polling a bunch of people, 2,000 people, asking them what features they hope their phone would have by the year 2036. A bunch of people apparently want 3D holograms, like Iron Man. Like Obi-Wan, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Phones that project holograms so you can have 3D meetings or manipulate objects in 3D, like Iron Man. Okay. They want their phones to listen in, which they already do, and instantly give you helpful suggestions, which they already do. Have you never been on social media? All you have to do is say, I really think my mattress is old and needs to be replaced.
Well, that is just an ad as opposed to like helping you.
But that's exactly what it's doing.
Dice vegetables or whatever, I'm guessing.
You need help dicing vegetables?
I don't know,
Maybe you shouldn't be on the planet. Okay?
It was an example quickly.
Real-time advice without asking.
Yeah.
Here's a good one until it all goes bad. And I get it, right? This is and I understand it because this is like one of the most frustrating and time-consuming and like mundane things you have to do as a human being, as an adult. And so it would be nice if you had a personal assistant or someone to do this for you. Samsung polling a bunch of people, asking them what they hope their phone could do for them within the next 10 years. Number 5 on the list, take control of my finances and monthly bill paying. So like it's all in there and it just happens. Right? So it's sort of like direct deposits. The bills are coming out of the bank, and I don't have to go in and check on it at all. Just maybe it sends me a text and says, hey, here's what we did.
We paid this, and this today.
So you don't have to sit down and actively go to all the websites and pay the bills. I find a lot of comfort in doing that just because I'm old and I used to pay with checks and, like we all have.
Well, then everything's actually paid and you're good.
Well, you can't pay stuff on a certain day because there's not going to be enough in the account that day, right? You got to wait till next Wednesday and it's going to be a little late, but you'll get your money.
Yeah.
One of those things. I don't want the phone to be like, sorry, here's an overdraft for 100.
These things. Yeah. And I didn't have it.
I had plans to go out, yeah. And then number 6, and we'll see more of this, obviously, as AI becomes more a part of everything we do, anticipating my thoughts and auto-inserting them without me having to type. So texting your friends without lifting a finger.
Brains, man.
Well, there's a guy that has the thing in his brain, right? Already, they're already implanting chips in people's brains. I don't want to go that far. I mean, the longer charge would be nice. That's a hardware thing as opposed to a software thing. Yes. I don't really care about language translation. I'm not talking to a lot of people that don't speak English.
If there's something you'd like to see your phone do, let us know. Make sure you reach out on your phone through the app, as a matter of fact.
I don't want to take control of my finances.
What if it cleaned itself all the time? So it was just a
clean screen?
Yeah.
There's no fingerprints?
Like a sanitizing thing every so often.
Well, they have those. They got those UV things you can... Because remember during COVID, they were selling those? Yeah. I would like the phone to do, like, the organizing of the photos and like...
wouldn't that be great?
You know what I mean? Where, like, after you've already put it somewhere, social media or whatever, it then says, okay, we don't need this one taking up space, and we'll just delete it.
Right. Cleaning up your files is something that Yeah.
Something along those lines.
You don't do very often, unless you need the extra space. If there's something you'd like to see your phone take over, let us know through the app.
Or you can find our contact info online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
8:15 on Tuesdays, we're joined by the one and only Grant Bilse, host of the Wisco Sports Show. You can hear his program weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on stations all across Wisconsin, including WKTY in La Crosse and Sports Talk 105.1, and he's now in the Fox Valley, Appleton area.
Mm-hmm. You there?
Grant?
Oh, yes. How about that? We are on in the Fox Valley. What a pleasure to speak with you both. Good morning.
Grant, I want to do something different here. I want to kind of lightning round it. We have a lot to get to, obviously, with the divisional and wild cards. So let's start right away. Get a quick reaction to the 6 games that occurred over the weekend. Let's start Rams, Panthers. Rams get that quarterback, Matthew Stafford, the MVP award, even though it's a regular season thing, right? Did we lose?
It feels that way. The Panthers are smart. No, do you guys not have me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you. Just a bit of a delay.
Okay. Sorry, there's a little bit more of a delay today, so sorry about that. I'm just in my car as normal. But I think the Panthers are so smart. They're so smart, they just don't have the talent. So the game planning and the execution, like, they give themselves a chance in every game. And they push the Rams in a way that I didn't think they could. Which makes me a little nervous that maybe the Rams are going to get beaten by the Bears, and now the Bears are going to end up in the NFC Championship game, which I hate the idea of, but that was my thought coming out of Rams-Panthers. Like, maybe the Rams aren't so legit, and that scares me.
Brings me to the next game, of course, Packers-Bears. The Packers absolutely blow it against the Bears, giving up the lead after going into halftime up 18, and is Matt LaFleur going to get fired?
No.
It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't seem like it. But some of the reporting about Matt LaFleur and his future, everyone's talking about his agent. You know, Adam Schefter, Matt LaFleur's agent, his agent. You hear about agents in baseball like Scott Boras or, Clutch Sports in the NBA. It probably means nothing. It just seems weird. It seems like Matt LaFleur wants a fat pay raise, and the Packers are like, we like you, dude, but I mean, like that kind of feels like what's going on. I would expect it gets done. That Packers game was the epitome of their season, and maybe the epitome of Matt LaFleur's tenure as coach. They'll give you about 80% of a game, which over the course of a season gives you about 80% of a season. So instead of winning 12 games like you should, you win 9. And instead of, winning the game against the Bears after being up 21-3, you lose. And if it's not the special teams, it's the offense going quiet, it's the defense, like that's just who they've been. So honestly, I'm over that game pretty quickly because that's not surprising. That was just another example of the team they've been all year.
Buffalo, Jacksonville. Buffalo gets the win. Is Josh Allen going to make it through the playoffs? That guy has got more injuries than an entire emergency room.
I would love to see it. I would love to think so because I want Josh Allen. Sometimes these great players, like, I want him in a Super Bowl. Like, it's lame that he hasn't been in a Super Bowl. It's lame that Lamar Jackson hasn't been in a Super Bowl. I just don't think his team is very good. I don't think his team is very good. And I listen to people on ESPN and other shows. You probably hear some of the Simpsons where it's like, if Josh Allen can't do it this year, he's never going to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't think his team's any good. Like, the Jags were way better. It's just their quarterback wasn't very good. Trevor Lawrence had a bad game. So Josh Allen could carry his Bills through that game. Can he get them a win in Denver? Or Houston with how they looked last night? And they sacked Josh Allen 7 times the last time they played. So I would love to think so. I just don't think Josh Allen has enough good players around him to win multiple playoff games, which is what it's going to take. He can win 1 or 2, but I think that's where it would be done.
Bit of a lightning round here for the wild card round, which happened last weekend. Next game was San Fran Philly. It's always a great day when the Eagles are out of the playoffs.
It's so funny. We had a guest on Bill's show, Bill Michaels, who I produce, and he pointed out last week, I thought it was a great, apt observation. He's like, the Eagles are the same team every week. You could play them against the worst team and the worst defense in football, and they're going to score 17 points. And you could play them against the best team and the best defense in football, and they're going to score about 17 points. And for that Niners team with all of their injuries to lose George Kittle and to come in, and like Brock Purdy threw picks in the second half in the fourth quarter, and still the Eagles gagged it away. And Nick Sirianni and his star wide receiver fighting on the sideline. It's funny. It's really, really, really funny. And I know the Eagles have beaten my team, not in a Super Bowl like yours, Simpson, but I also enjoy watching them lose.
The late game on Sunday, of course, the Chargers in New England. Kind of a return to the early Drake May of this year, where he was putting the ball on the carpet and throwing interceptions. They managed to get a touchdown late and win the game 16-3. It was the largest margin of victory until last night's game, of course. What's your takeaway from the Patriots over the Chargers?
I think if I was a Patriots fan, I would think, nice. We won a game on defense. We won a game without Drake May having to be our everything, which I think is good. Now, if he plays like that throughout the whole playoffs, maybe they get tripped up, but it's nice to be able to win a game like that. I don't think Justin Herbert is good. Can I just say?
Oh, he's bad.
Not to be butthurt Packers fan here, but I have to be a little bit. When I hear sports talking heads on whatever shows talk about the best quarterbacks in football, and they anoint Justin Herbert as this top 5 guy while saying, well, Jordan Love, I don't really trust him. I don't really like him. What are you watching? Mm-hmm. What are you watching? And it's not just in the playoffs. I'll watch Justin Herbert on a 3:00 game on a Sunday. It's kind of rigid and he can't throw a check down with any touch. He throws it 100 miles an hour. He's not really all that mobile. He's stiff, and he's not a natural runner. What does he do? And I don't get it. And it annoys me as a Packers fan because Justin Herbert, everyone talks about him like he's the best quarterback ever, and Jordan Love is like, Jordan Love, by the way, who threw for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns on Saturday night, no picks. I don't know if I trust him, but Justin Herbert, that's the guy. Give me a break.
Well, the Chargers have got a dead-ass coach. Harbaugh's checked out. That guy, he looks like a shell of a human being right now. And even though they're paying Herbert all that money, it doesn't make him a good quarterback. So, final game was last night. Houston all over Pittsburgh. If you didn't see this coming, then you haven't been watching the NFL. That Texans defense is scary good. And then they put up a butt ton of points because Pittsburgh's really bad. Is this the end for Aaron Rodgers, though? That's the question on everybody's mind. Is this it? Is he done?
Well, firstly, that's the Texans. Yep, C.J. Stroud played horrible, and they still won. He needs to be a little bit better, but I think they can win a Super Bowl. They've played as well as anyone for the last 2 months, and that defense is nasty. Something with Aaron Rodgers that I found very interesting last night, very emotional. If you watch till the end of the game, the cameras are following Rodgers across the field, into the tunnel, around the corner, down the steps. I thought the cameras were going to follow him right into the shower. That's how long they chased him. They wanted this dramatic shot of him leaving the stadium. And what was so funny, or maybe it's not funny, it just struck me, is that Aaron Rodgers is wrapping up a no doubt surefire first ballot Hall of Fame career. He's one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. Some would say the best or one of the best of all time. And the Steelers stadium is empty. 3/4 of the people left because that fan base is so sick of getting blasted in the first round of the playoffs. And they don't care.
He's been
there for
a
year. It's a nice story for them, Gene. Yeah, but they've seen this movie before. They're done with it. They don't want to watch another episode of this long-running show where they lose in the playoffs in the first round. So I just thought that was very interesting. Here's Rodgers taking in what could be the final moment in one of the most storied careers a quarterback has ever had. And most of the fans in the building didn't even care to stick around because they're like, he was here for a year, and we're sick of this. In protest, we're leaving early. I just thought that was very interesting.
Grant Bilse, host of the Wisco Sports Show, on the phone with us every Tuesday at about 8:15. Let's move on to this weekend's matchups. I want predictions. Let's get started with Buffalo at Denver. Can Josh Allen, as we mentioned, as injured as he is, with the clear path to the Super Bowl, without Patrick Mahomes, without Lamar Jackson, without Joe Burrow, can he do it? Can he get it done and beat Denver and then go to New England the next weekend, or maybe welcome in Houston?
Well, he could, because I've seen Geno Smith almost beat this Broncos team. I've seen lots of quarterbacks way worse than Josh Allen on teams that are less experienced and less seasoned than Josh Allen's team, the Bills, go into Denver or play Denver in their building and play them within an inch of their lives. How many games did we watch the Broncos this year where they barely snuck it out at the very end? So many games. So I know that the Bills, if they play well, can have a chance. I don't think there's a world in which the Broncos run away with this, unless the bye and they're fresh. Maybe, but I think the most reasonable or the most likely outcome is this game is close. And it's coming down to Josh Allen and Bo Nix. And if I'm a Bills fan, I would take that. Make it a 3-point game in the fourth quarter, and I'll take my quarterback over your quarterback. But you know, Simpson, that Denver is a house of horrors. I'd pick the Broncos if you're making me predict it. But I think it's going to be close because most of the Broncos games have been close this year, and that gives Josh Allen a chance at least.
I need the Buffalo Bills to win this game. I don't want to go to Denver should the Patriots get. I don't want it. It is, as you mentioned, it is a literal house of horrors. I never want to go there. San Francisco, they've got nobody but Brock Purdy. They don't stand a chance, right? Against Seattle. They're in Seattle against the Birds. They don't stand a chance.
I don't know. This is an interesting game because if Seattle, it all depends on how these teams come off of a bye. If a team comes off of a bye as its correct self against a lesser opponent at home like San Francisco, Seattle should be able to roll. But if they're a little rusty, if Sam Darnold isn't perfect, and let's be real, Seattle wants to run the ball and play defense, which isn't really a type of play style that leads to many blowouts. Like, that game should probably stay close. And again, very same as Bills fans. If I'm a Niners fan, all I want is like in Philly, just have this be a close game in the fourth quarter, and let's see if some weird stuff can't happen. Because Brock Purdy's played in more playoff games at a higher level than Sam Darnold has. So if I were Mike McDonald and the Seahawks, my goal would be, we're going to come out and crack them right away. Let's see if we can. And the Seahawks have done this year. We've seen them be up, 28-7, 35-10. Like, they've had some crooked first half and third quarter numbers. That would be my goal. I think that would be, if you were asking me to predict, I think that's what the Seahawks do, because I think this week is maybe the week the wheels come off a little bit and the Niners' weaknesses and injuries finally are kind of laid bare.
The first game on Sunday is my Patriots at home against this just very scary-looking Houston team. I was really hoping for some Aaron Rodgers playoff magic, a little sprinkle of magic dust, and to get the win, and then we would beat the brains out of Pittsburgh. But that's not going to be the case. As you mentioned, the Pats' defense actually won them a game. You got to assume that Drake May is going to clean up the messes like he has all season. What's your prediction here with Houston at New England on Sunday afternoon?
So it's not just that C.J. Stroud has been meh. You know what I mean? Like, Sam Darnold in games has been meh. There's been lots of games where C.J. Stroud has been straight up bad. That red zone interception last night was bad. You can't throw, with that type of defense in the postseason on the road, you can't throw interceptions like that. So I don't fully trust C.J. Stroud to not just be meh. Like, I don't trust him to be even like a playoff viable quarterback because we've seen so much evidence to the contrary. I would expect Drake May's mobility to be very significant in this game. We saw Rodgers. Rodgers tripped over the ankle of his own lineman last night. Like, he had a pretty decent lane. He just went down in a heap. He can't move anymore. Drake May can. But that Houston defense is terrifying.
I know.
I would think this to be a big Stephon Diggs game. Someone with the nuts and the gall to go over the middle and make tough contested catches against a defense that violent. Like, I think Stephon Diggs probably play a bigger role in this game than he did the other night for your team, Simpson. I would pick the Patriots, but man, like, the Patriots haven't been in a lot of games like this. They've beaten one team before Sunday night over 500, Simpson, so that would scare me. But I would look at Stephon Diggs and then their defensive linemen, Milton Williams, Spillane, who were big the other night. Like, can they get after C.J. Stroud and maybe turn him over, twice? If they can do that, I would feel awesome about their chances winning at home, even if it's a 17-10 game, which they proved the other night they can win.
Doesn't matter. A win is a win in the playoffs. It can be as ugly. It can be 1 point, half a point. I don't care. A win is a win. Last game of the weekend is, of course, the Rams at the Bears. Will Chicago get this thing done and go to the NFC Championship game, or do the Bears still suck?
Is it crazy that I feel like the Bears might? I don't know, man. I've watched the Bears all year, and they've won a lot of games they probably shouldn't have. So you can look at their opponents and say, how'd you let them get away with that? And I can certainly say that about the Packers 2 different times in the last month. But at a certain point, you have to look at the team winning the games and say, okay, well, how did they keep doing that? Sure, the other team has to be complicit. The Packers had to botch an onside kick or commit a bunch of 3-and-outs. But Caleb Williams is the type of quarterback who can just hit these haymakers in the fourth quarter. He's going to be inefficient, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over. The Packers game on Saturday night was a little bit of an outlier. But if that game is close down the stretch, there isn't a quarterback in football right now who's hitting these off-schedule, indefensible haymakers quite like Caleb Williams. And I don't know, man. The Rams' pass rush has not been what it was supposed to be. Like Byron Young and Jared Verse, that group has taken a big step back. We saw it against the Panthers. So if Caleb Williams is comfortable, I don't know. I think their defense probably has a lot of confidence with what they did after the Packers in the second half. So I don't know that I'd pick the Bears, but as a Packers fan, I'm certainly scared that they're going to win because that's what it feels like to me.
All that yelling in the locker room seems to work for them. I don't know. That be better, good, all that stuff. But Grant Bilse, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Always a pleasure. Thank you for the lightning round here. Next week, we'll obviously see what our reactions are to the divisional round and take a look ahead to the AFC and NFC championship games. Thanks, Grant.
Hey, I like this. The games are awesome, and I'm weirdly okay with my Packers being done because now I can just sit back and enjoy. Thank you. Nice to talk to you both. Have a good one.
Every Tuesday, 8:15, we get one of the best in the biz, Grant Bilse, on the phone talking about sports, talking about life. This week, it was all football.
I got to ask him about ice fishing. I know he's been going recently. Any big catches?
He hasn't sent me any pictures of anything other than that perch or whatever that he caught when he was in town. Bad News, Happy Music is coming up next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man. Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Stanley Cups. Viral for a hot minute a couple of years ago, right? Was it last year, 2024?
Mm-hmm.
The Valentine's ones made people go crazy, right?
It was a special release at Target, I believe, if that was the Stanley ones. But now Owala's, I mean, it's all sick. It's all changes.
Well, apparently there's a hashtag Florida woman. Her name is Ariana Moss, and she got arrested for stealing a Stanley mug.
A very
just
valuable Stanley mug?
Yeah, apparently they've solved all the crimes in Florida. 29-year-old woman in Florida named Ariana Moss arrested on a misdemeanor charge after she allegedly stole her coworker's 40-ounce light blue Stanley Cup. It's worth $60, and she got arrested for this.
She did. Was it because of her and the coworker have a
She was caught on camera
relationship?
Eyeing up the cup, hiding it in her lunchbox, and then leaving with it. So it wasn't an accident. She knew it belonged to her 22-year-old coworker, and she'd even talked about the Stanley Cup before.
Man, I love that cup.
A coworker said that Ariana once pointed to the cup and said, quote, "This cup would be great to hold my breast milk."
Y'all got to walk uptown to the Bronx and get breast milk from a Cambodian immigrant.
All right. She coveted that Stanley Cup.
Is there nowhere else to put the breast milk?
It's not a good vessel for that. It's too large for serving sizes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have 60 ounces.
You don't feed the baby the breast milk from the Stanley Cup.
No, it's be transferring it, but it's
and
not
when you're
good for
pumping,
that
you know this. You got there's bottles for that, right?
And their storage they're not drinking 60 ounces or 40 ounces or whatever it is.
So apparently she was eyeing it up and saying, that'll keep my breast milk at whatever temperature.
It does. It's very thermal.
Insulated, right? It'll keep it at whatever temperature I need it to be at.
Is it cheese made of moose milk?
Yes.
A milk meat fucker?
How come she was arrested?
I don't know. That was the part that I had a hard time with, not the breast milk. The breast milk is the funny part, but what are we doing? Arresting someone for stealing a Stanley Cup?
From a coworker.
From a coworker. Okay, she stole it, you fire her, and you move on. I mean, it sucks, but you're arresting people over this? She has since quit her job as a supervisor. Unclear if the Stanley Cup was returned, and if so, the coworker probably not going to be drinking from that thing again. Not quite sure what the whole arresting was about.
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah. Wanted to use it to store breast milk in. We're arresting people for stealing Stanley Cups. Not from a store, mind you, from just some guy that she works with, which I'm not saying is right. I'm just saying,
not right.
Don't we have other crimes that are a little more pressing?
But, like, if I took somebody's thing from here, I don't know that they'd call the police, would they?
Well, Christy Nix might.
She might just fire me. Just say, hey, you know what?
You keep taking her lean cuisines out of the fridge. She might. Have you heard of the Are You Dead app?
No.
There's an app called Are You Dead or Dead Yet? And it has been surging apparently in China. It's targeted at young people who are living alone in major cities and are worried about dying and no one's around to find them, right?
I'm not dead.
Yeah. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is. I'm not.
And they're not getting the necklace, right? Because they're young.
Well, yeah, you're young and you're healthy, and so you're not getting the, like...
So there's an app that just says...
The emergency alert necklace, right? It checks in on you. Yeah, so it surged to the top of China's charts targeted at young people living alone in the big cities who fear dying without anyone realizing they're dead. It launched in May of last year. It requires users to check in every 2 days by tapping a large on-screen button to confirm that they are, in fact, alive.
I thought the police always said freeze.
Well, I am the police. And I say don't move, Snow White. You move, you're dead.
I say I'm dead.
And I say I'm dead.
I move.
And I move.
If they fail to do so, the app automatically alerts the chosen emergency contact that something may, in fact, be wrong.
I see dead people.
At the start of 2026, downloads have spiked, making it the most downloaded paid app in China. The Are You Dead app.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Check in every once in a while, I guess. Every couple days, can't you check in with a living person?
The app markets itself as a safety companion for people living alone, students who are away from home.
Yes, I understand
and those
that.
choosing to have a solitary lifestyle. On Chinese social media, one person said there is a fear that people living alone might die unnoticed with no one to call for help. I sometimes wonder if I died alone, who would collect my body?
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
You have nobody that cares about you?
No one to check in on you every couple of days?
Call your
or
mother every couple
not
days
one
to
single
make sure
person?
you're still alive? She'd like to hear from you.
Another person said the app could be useful for introverts, people with depression, and others that are in vulnerable situations. Okay.
All right.
That's fine. I get it. But not one other human being on the planet cares enough about you that they would check in on you.
You guys want to go see a dead body?
Yeah, it's that person in the apartment that didn't get the app. I worried that if something happened to me, I could die alone in the place I rent and no one would know, said his mother as his emergency contact. Mom can't just call you every once in a while and say, hey, how you doing?
Doesn't anyone realize he's dead?
Does dying alone at a young age in an apartment happen a lot?
Maybe it does.
Like, holy
Maybe
moly.
they're carrying bodies out of there all the time.
Concerned about something that's probably not happening.
Again, I will never get in a driverless car. These things are just...
Is this another Waymo?
Yes, Waymo. These things are just dying to kill people. They are just out there trying to kill human beings. I don't know what you people are doing and why we can't get in a car with an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or a cab driver or a bus driver or someone behind the wheel that doesn't stop on the train tracks when the train's coming through. A Waymo passenger jumping out of the self-driving car after it stopped on the railroad tracks and the train was a-coming.
The Waymo's on the track. What an idiot. Here comes the train. Oh, get out, get out, get out. Oh, man. Oh, no, he's in the reverse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they're laughing at this guy. A Waymo self-driving car in Phoenix, the light rail tracks, stopping right there, forcing a passenger to flee before it continued along the tracks near an oncoming train. What are we doing? Someone said, I actually felt a little sorry for the car. It obviously made a bad decision and got itself in a difficult place.
They felt sorry for the car?
This is the problem. They are convincing us to feel bad for a vehicle.
I'm not feeling bad for the car.
What are we doing? We had the ones where they were running into each other. We had the one that went through the active police scene where they had a guy on the ground and they had their guns drawn. And now this car is jumping on the tracks with a passenger in the back seat. You'll never, ever, much like going in the ocean with sharks, I'm never getting in a driverless car. Never. I'll walk there before I take a driverless vehicle. Hell no. I am not getting in one of those things. Last but not least, yesterday it was a guy with a leech in his bladder that he inserted through his urethra.
Now what?
This guy had a big giant potato wedged up his ass.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
A man leaving surgeons baffled. Come on now. Are they really baffled? We can stop saying that now,
Why?
right?
What happened? Where'd it go?
After he showed up at the hospital with a 7-inch sweet potato stuck up his ass.
A yam?
Forcing them to perform emergency surgery to take it out.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
There's photos of it too, obviously, x-rays. Surgeons had to cut open this guy's abdomen to remove a giant...
Oh, my gosh.
They didn't go through the back end. They had to go through the middle to take this big sweet potato out of his ass. 61-year-old man, anonymous, by the way, unnamed.
You think?
Inserted the 7-inch potato, quote-unquote, out of boredom at around 11 p.m. and then he went to sleep afterwards.
He went to sleep? You going to sleep, Brian?
Well, first of all, Gene, to clear up a few
tuber of some sort?
To clear up a few things in case you didn't know this about me. First of all, not putting potatoes up my ass. Second of all, if it ends up happening some way, somehow.
You got bored. There's nothing else to do on the internet.
I'm never that bored. I am never that. Number two, I skipped a step. I'm never that bored. Number three, if it does happen, I'm not going to sleep.
You take a little nap?
We're getting this thing out now, immediately.
What do you think if you rested a little bit?
Maybe
got
it would
some
soften it up?
It would just,
those sweet potatoes, they cook a lot faster than a russet or something. So maybe you thought it would soften up and then
they could just pull it out. It wouldn't be a problem in the morning.
Woke up in the middle of the night with sudden intense abdominal pain as attempts to pull the root vegetable out manually or pass it. Oh, man, how long did he sit there going, gee, gee? 4 a.m., the pain unbearable, rushed to a local hospital somewhere in China. Baffled doctors tried to break the potato into pieces inside of his abdomen/rectum, but it was too tough to crack.
They like ass. They like ass so much they don't know what to do.
Break it up in pieces, and the pieces
They
are
had to
all
do
of
that
it.
to one of my teeth that one time. They couldn't get a vice grip around it to pull it out. They had to take a chisel
tap, and broke it into pieces.
One of the most miserable experiences of my life. They attempted to apparently grip it with a wine bottle opener. Are we talking like a corkscrew?
Yes, probably. Where you put it in and the arms go like this.
Inside? No.
Well, not the arms inside of him, but that it would pull the.
Eventually, they realized all of these attempts were not going to work, and they had to operate. So they go in through his abdomen and take out the 7-inch potato out of this guy's
canola oil. Did they oil it up and
He might have had some left over from when he stuck it up there.
Stick it up the butt.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
And then it gets stuck like a cork.
Yeah, there's a X-ray, by the way, of this giant sweet potato stuck in this guy's rectum. 7 inches long. I mean, that's this long. You got to, and they're not skinny. Those sweet potatoes. I mean, they're they
good. Get wider in the middle. That's where the stuck part happened. The end was fine, and then it widened out, and then it got stuck.
People be sticking stuff up their rear end all the time.
And then took a nap. He took a nap, Brian.
Oh.
He got bored. Was like, what should I do tonight? And then after he took a rest, he napped a little bit.
No.
Brian.
No.
He napped with a potato in his butt.
Jesus. I was bored.
Do you have to stomach sleep that way?
I was bored.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't you're not.
How do you fall asleep with a big giant potato rammed up your rear?
On your stomach, probably. Not. Or you could do it with your knees, I guess, elevated.
Just another reminder that when you think your life is not going well, and let's be honest, it could be, in the pits. You're not shoving a 7-inch sweet potato up your rear end.
Have you been that bored?
Have you been that bored? Right? Yeah, sure, you may have blown your entire paycheck on a spooky spin and come out empty-handed. But,
sure, you got to talk about that later.
But I don't have a giant potato shoved up my ass.
So apparently the phrase yam in the butt.
What?
Yam in the butt?
That's not a phrase.
Yam in the butt?
Well, there was a yam.
Yam in the butt refers to attractive buttocks or legs. It's actually an Urban Dictionary. Okay. You're yamming your butt.
Yeah. Well.
Yam in the butt.
All right.
Put your yam in the butt. It's
bad news with happy music.
Yams.
We'll get to our daily check-ins next.
Yam in the butt.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
rockmornings.com, the website where you can find all of our contact info. You can download the apps as well and get in touch with us that way, whether it's the 95.7 The Rock app and or the 92.9 The X app. Submit voicemails, pictures, videos, all through the app. Got a text from Tisha. LOL, WTF, potato butt. I just busted my stitches.
Yam in the butt.
Yam in the butt. He did have a yam in the butt. Phil texted in and said, couldn't they kind of boil the potato out?
That's why I
give the dude a really hot bath so it softens up. Human mashed potato dispenser. Well, that's what I thought. Maybe after, because he put it up there, couldn't get it out, went to sleep. And I thought maybe...
Took a nap.
Well, maybe he thought it would soften up from the internal temperature, right? Because, again, sweet potatoes are not as dense as other potatoes. So maybe...
Yeah, but you can't, I don't think it's going to soften in a bathtub. Maybe a hot tub?
What about, hot water...
Steam it, boil it?
Hot water enema.
Bake it?
Shoot it up there with hot water?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to do that either.
Well, they got it out through surgery, so...
Parboiled? Maybe next time you could parboil it first?
Halfway boiled, boiled potatoes.
So it's a little bit...
That's what the Jerky Boys did. Jason said, I wish my phone could predict winning lottery numbers. Well, I've had enough of these entitled people for the rest of my life. Yeah, don't we all? Somebody else texted in. Great. Brody, actually, with a great suggestion about what he would like his phone to be able to do. I thought it was a great suggestion. Wants his phone to tell him if somebody's lying. So a lie detector test on your phone. Measuring all these different sort of tangible elements. Vocal tone, heart rate, stuff like that. Jim said, I would want my phone to make money while I'm scrolling. Much like your daughter, apparently.
Ding, 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 ding. Well, that would be convenient.
There's a bunch of apps out there that say they'll pay you money for playing solitaire or whatever. And
stay-at-home moms can earn extra money by doing this. Not true.
Not true at all. Not true. Chris texted in earlier when we were talking about the bobsled guy. Said, some people say they don't believe Jamaica got a bobsled team from Cool Runnings.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him if he saw the video. He said, yes, it's freaking insane. Someone else wanted to know how was the seafood paella. I let them know I have not had it yet. I did win the contest. I am going to get the seafood paella, even if it kills me. I will remind you every single day until it happens.
Sometime it'll happen. Just give me a little bit here.
National Poetry at Work Day. Doc texted in earlier with a poem that he wrote.
A little yarn he wrote.
Roses are red, violets are pink. Jean is one hot mama, Brian is a dink. Happy National Poetry at Work Day. Don't quit your day job, by the way.
Double income, no kids.
I don't think that'll work on a Hallmark card. Cody also texted in and said probably wasn't his first time putting something up there. It never is. You're certainly not starting with a 7-inch sweet potato.
I like because you're bored.
Yeah. That's just the excuse you give the guys at the hospital to make them. You're trying to confuse them as they don't know what you're doing. Again, stop with the lies. You just like putting stuff up there, right? You're getting an enjoyment out of it, okay? Mm-hmm. And then it got stuck and you didn't want to come in because you're embarrassed.
Yam in the butt.
Thanks for all the correspondence. Good to hear from you guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.